I moved back to California,
Hmm.
and then ended up landing a position at Cal State San Bernardino and then also JP College teaching. And I've been doing that for 5, 6 years. But in the midst of that, I had decided to really go hard with starting my first business, which is Nerdy Girl LLC, which is the workforce development program, helping women to become confident, courageous, and competitive in the US job market. That was important to me because I was scared as hell to negotiate
Hmm.
my salary in front of men, scared as
Yeah,
hell to stand up
absolutely.
for myself in the workplace. I was nervous as hell to be confident. I felt like I was easily intimidated a lot of the time. Yet I was in these very male dominated places. I mean, a professor, your ideal professor is what?
White older
Male,
man.
50 plus,
Yeah.
completely male dominated. And I felt like there was this gap in my personal
Hmm.
development. And I was like, well, I had a lot of mentors and I still had these gaps. So I wonder if other women, what are other women doing? So I created a space. I created like this 3-day intensive seminar to help
Hmm.
women upgrade themselves professionally, headshots, life coach, emotional
Wow.
intelligence coach, literally revamp their whole professional lives and go get like take life by like just go get the things that they've been looking for.
Hmm.
And that was successful. And then outside of that, I then got into business coaching because folks saw the success that I had with my first business and said, well, how do you start? I said, okay, cool. I'm going to help you guys figure this out. Then that blew up in the pandemic because everybody
Mm.
who's anybody wanted to start a business in the pandemic. And then I was able to, from there, leverage that experience and leverage that information and turn it into a premium program in which
Mm.
now I've built that from, 4-figure business to a 5-figure business. And this year I'm going to hit my 6 figures this year with that
Wow.
business alone. And so it's been a very progressive timeline,
Hmm.
but also very random.
Hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
And I've just let life kind of reveal itself to me and be like, well, you're going to do it or you're not. what's
Wow.
what's going to happen. And so I'm a quick starter. So I lean all the way in and this is where I am right now and no regrets at this point.
Hmm. What are some of the things that you learned from being a professor at such a young age? Shout out to Cal State San Bernardino and Chaffey. I went to those schools as well. But what are some of the things that you learned at such a young age being a professor?
Um, if you're good at what you do, then show off.
Mm.
Show off. I think a lot of the time, and obviously I'm speaking from my own limited experience,
Hmm.
a lot of the time we will be damn good at what we do, but we would be riddled with insecurity.
Mm.
We've put so much time in our space, but yet we have the audacity to show up insecure in
Hmm.
many places. And it taught me how to own my stuff because I knew a lot about business even before
Hmm.
teaching. And obviously, I increased my business acumen as I taught more. But the more confident I was when I kept checking my receipts about what I've done and what I've accomplished and my results, and I walked in that space with that kind of heavyweight feel, I
Mm.
feel as though I feel like my energy transferred to the students.
Hmm.
And you have to consider I'm a young Black woman walking in that class. First of all, they don't
Right.
even think that I'm the professor half of the time,
I think you're a student.
all of the time.
Right.
So the initial insecurity was they're not going to believe me.
Mm.
They're gonna come for me, right? They're gonna try to make me feel incompetent. But those were all illusions. I
Mm.
just had to really trust myself that I knew what I was doing and that I
Hmm.
prepared also. So it wasn't just jumping in. I spent hours and hours and hours sharpening my craft and knowing what I know and experiencing and implementing. And I had to trust those moments. And I think as high
Mm.
achievers, we forget about those things a
Hmm.
lot. We forget about the work that we put in. We forget about the huge accomplishments we have. And that's why we walk into a space thinking that we're not enough. We
Mm.
completely forget about all the things that we've done. So it taught me how to bring my experience to the table. You want to see at the table? Sure. But bring your experience with you.
Mm.
Bring your perspective with you. Honor those things. Honor the 5, 10 years you've been in the game. I tell my clients all the time because they struggle with that. I said, you are not new to this. You are true to
Mm.
this. This is just you showing up, your expertise showing up in a different format. And that's something that I had to learn was that I wasn't new to this. I was true to this, and that I was going to show up with my unique perspective, with my unique business acumen, and show out. And it worked for me. So we're going to keep doing
Wow.
that.